My greatest natural gifts are, number one, prudence, which is structure and organization. It's my ability to get things done. And then second, my leadership energy, which is my competitive nature, my ability to take charge, and my expectation of success. These are my greatest natural gifts or talents. And I sort of knew this most of my life, but it wasn't until I confirmed it a few years ago and started bringing growth to these areas of my life that I began to settle into my shoes, so to speak, and really thrive in the environment and the role that the Lord had placed me in. And it feels great to know without a doubt what the Lord designed me to do. And I'm going to bet that if you're not sure about this in your life, there's a bit of a craving within you to be able to thrive in this manner. And I really think the Lord puts that within us, so we'll work to maximize the talents that He's given us. And in today's session, I have some thoughts that'll help you begin to discover your natural gifts and talents. So stay tuned. Hey there, I'm Ryan Franklin, and I would love for you to join me every week as we explore leadership topics that'll help you get the clarity needed to move your organization forward. Just hit the subscribe button and the bell to get notified as soon as I post a new session. And before we get started, I do want to mention that I have a great product called the Christian Leader Blueprint. It's a solid model for leadership development. If you've been looking for something that will help you or your team members develop in leadership, look no further than the Christian Leader Blueprint. And I want to give it away as my gift to you. Just go to christianleadermadesimple.com and you can download it for free today. And without any further delay, let's get to our session. What practical and natural gifts do you have that'll help you significantly impact your church or organization? You see, the gifts we possess make up a large part of our personality. My giftings are the things that come natural to me. I've received my giftings partially from my DNA, but they've also been developed during my early years of childhood as I was learning to interact in the world around me. And Paul challenges us not to neglect our gifts. In other words, don't fail to use your gifts for the benefit of others. In Romans 12, chapter 12, verse 3 through 8, Paul appeals to the members of the congregation in Rome to use their abilities for the benefit of others. And so our gifts are available to be used in administrating, teaching, serving, encouraging, exhorting, ministering, helping, leading, and tons of other ways. And so I ask you, what natural gifts and abilities do you have, and how can you use those gifts in a way that will bring honor and glory to God, but also produce life-giving fulfillment within you and produce amazing results in the church or the organization in which you serve? So think about that. Think about the things that you naturally do well. And just as importantly, what do you struggle to do and find yourself spending unnecessary time and energy on? In other words, what are your strengths and what are your weaknesses? And it takes a tremendous amount of humility to focus on your unique giftings, because you also have to acknowledge the things that you don't do so well. You have to acknowledge your imperfections, and no one likes to admit their weaknesses. But reality is, we all have those things. And it's important that you become aware of the things that you do well and the things that you struggle with in order to increase your authenticity and your effectiveness as a leader. When you recognize these things and you admit them, you're actually becoming a person that's more true to yourself. And here's a great added benefit. Recognizing your own abilities is also going to create opportunities for other people to openly acknowledge their strengths and their weaknesses and operate in their giftings as well. So what has the Lord equipped you to do? I encourage you, be honest and ask yourself these 3 questions that I'm going to give you. Make sure you write your answers down to sort of deepen this exercise. Number 1, what do you enjoy doing? Now that's a tough question, right? Actually, this should sort of roll off of your tongue. What do you enjoy doing? Do you enjoy leading? Do you enjoy serving? Do you enjoy encouraging people? Assisting other leaders? Exhorting? Counseling? Brainstorming? Do you enjoy figuring out why something isn't working and figuring out how to make it better? What brings you joy at work or in ministry? What do you enjoy doing? And number 2, of all of the things that you do in your life, what has a significant impact on others? I want you to think about it. When you listen to people's problems, does it bring down the anxiety in others? When you have the opportunity to manage money, does good things happen financially for you or for others when you help them with that? When you organize things for your church or your organization, does life seem to just get a little smoother and less chaotic for people around you? When you get the opportunity to speak in front of groups or people, does it come easy for you? And are people moved to change in their life? Of all the things that you do in your life now, what has a significant impact on others? Most people sort of know deep within themselves what they're good at and what they aren't so good at. But sometimes it can be quite difficult to bring it to the surface of a person's mind. And I don't want to bog you down with this question, but think about your weaknesses as well. What do you secretly wish you could give up that's not making an impact? You may even do something well, but it drains your energy and it leaves you feeling empty when you're done. And I realize that we all have to do things we don't enjoy for the sake of our jobs. That's just life. But these are the things that you probably want to try to move away from when you can, and as much as you can. Also, are you introverted or extroverted? Or are you ambiverted? An ambivert is a mixture of introverted and extroverted qualities. This is key when you're looking at your natural gifts. How's your social stamina? Are you able to be with people for long periods of time without burning out? Some people can do that. Or do you need routine alone time like me to re-energize? Do you have a high volume of ideas? Are you a visionary type person? There's tons of questions that we could ask here. These are all just slightly different versions, but all asking, what do you do that has a significant impact on others? Number 3, what do you secretly believe you can achieve, but you've never attempted it? And I encourage you, be honest and ambitious with this question. Think about this. There's a possibility that you've never used one of the natural gifts that the Lord has given you. One of my recent coaching clients spent most of his life as a music person for churches. He spent 9 years in full-time music ministry, and he was very successful. His interpersonal sensitivity and his leadership energy allowed him to thrive in that role. Yet, he wasn't maximizing some of his greatest gifts. And after spending some time with this client, it didn't take long to realize that he was built to pastor a church. And just a few months later, the Lord opened the door, and he and his family relocated and took on the role of senior pastor at a local church. And now, 4 months into his new role as of today, he's excited and he's thriving in a way that he never has in his life before. And so I ask you, what do you secretly believe you can achieve, but you've never attempted? course, there are all sorts of assessments out there that can also help bring to light your natural gifting, some much more impactful and some even more expensive. Those more impactful ones are quite expensive. But hopefully, as you wrestle with some of these questions that I've given you, it'll sort of organically bring to the surface your strengths and weaknesses. And if you haven't watched or listened to my previous session explaining the difference between natural and spiritual gifts, I encourage you, go check that out. Hope you have a great day. God bless you.